Welcome to AutoCAD. I want to apologize first if this is really loud. You may want to turn it down. I have a brand new computer, so I don't know how loud this is. This is my first time touching AutoCAD 2017, so we'll see how this goes. I may find a few little bells and whistles, but overall the interface looks to what I'm used to. If you know what you're doing on this, you're welcome to kind of speed ahead through this for the copying, pasting, and the tracing, but I would like everyone to do this as a practice run, just so we know how to do it, just to eliminate some questions later on down the road. So please follow me, please pause. Hopefully you're using the floating YouTube. If I have not showed you how to do that, please flag me down and be like, yo, Woith, you didn't show me how to do this. And I'll show you how to do this. So, okay, so here's what I've done for y'alls. I have gone online and I found this Batman little symbol. You may like Batman, you may hate him, you may think Ben Affleck is the best thing ever. I don't know, but we're going to have to go through this. I'd like you to do this one just for practice because a few little things I want to teach you with this, especially when it comes to splines and backgrounds and other things of that nature. So it is a good start. So here we go. Right click on there and you're going to just do a basic copy the image, and then you're going to go back into AutoCAD. And you're going to right click, actually don't even right click, press Control V and dump that on there. So there we go, we got Batman. Now currently there is no, I'm not setting up a size or scale because frankly I'm not there yet. I have yet to print much from AutoCAD on a 3D printer, which is what the goal of this thing is, so I don't know how well this plan is thought out. So we'll see how well this goes. Alright. A few things before I get started. I hate grids. This is optional. Turn off your grid. The grid is just going to mess with your head. The grid doesn't help you out at all. It's just going to annoy you. Looking at the bottom right hand part of your screen, I should have showed you this already, but if not, I will. Do not turn that on. That's snap mode. It will snap onto a 1/4 inch. The ortho, if you type L enter for line, you will see, and this is where you can fast forward if you know this stuff, how you can only draw lines horizontal and vertical. Turn that off. That's going to annoy you for this one. Its brother is polar. You can set things to angles. If you're drawing straight lines, turn it on. Otherwise, keep it off. Don't care about that. We're never going to use it. Snap references you won't need. VO snaps. This is a big one. You will be using these throughout this one. It might get a little bit annoying with some of the snapping, but if you will, click the ones that I am clicking on. Do not turn on nearest. It's annoying. I would highly advise you not to just click on whichever ones you want to, because if you do too much, it can be really, really annoying. So anyway, go ahead and turn those on. Here's what you're going to do. We need to set this up for the right scale before we get going first. So everyone do this, please. If you haven't already done this, right click on your screen. Actually, don't right click. Just press Control 1. This is a properties menu. What I just did was I grabbed it by the bar. Whoa, that was freaky. And I pulled it over to the side and I dumped it. You will leave this here forever. Never take it off your screen. It's a nice guideline. If I click on this, it will give me my width and my height. Okay, so far this is 11 inches by 6. That's a bit big for what I want to print. So I'm going to back this off to about, let's go 6 inches. Okay, so, and then it will automatically rescale the height because it's looking for both. That way life flows a bit easier. I can do a scale, that's new. Here, if I want to double it or do a percentage, but I don't really care about that. Okay. So here's how we're going to do this assignment. For this assignment, you are going to use these basic commands here, but you're also going to use something called a spline. So really, you don't even have to even click on this. I'm going to move this guy down so you don't see him, so you can see how he types up it. So type in spline. Spline is a curved line, but to do this assignment, the one thing you need to be cognizant about is this entire thing has to be fully enclosed. What I'm doing here is I'm clicking along my edge, so you do this also. Now, with this spline, once you get to the end, you just press enter and you're done. Do not loop it around because then it's going to make a big arc right here. The cool thing about spline here is I zoomed in on this, is, and what I did was I pressed down on my scroll button there, is you can grab these little snaps here and you can tighten them in. So if you don't like where they're at, you can take them, you can move them in. If you don't like where they're at. Now, if you're finding you're struggling with the object snaps here because it wants to snap onto an object and you don't like it, what you can do is go down here to the bottom and you can turn those off. I wouldn't turn them off for very long because you need them to snap onto your points. Hopefully by now I've explained snaps to you guys a little bit. If not, I will very, very soon. So I'm going to zoom in on this, and when you zoom in, it should override your snaps so it gets right where you want it to. So I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, I'm going to go back to my spline again. Okay, one thing also about AutoCAD is if you right click and you go to recent input, it will give you your last commands. So if you don't feel like retyping in spline every time, right click and go to your previous command and you're set. So I'm going to do this again. For some reason the theme for Batman for the 1970s popped in my head. Again, na Batman. Okay, so keep doing this. You'll see what I'm doing here. If I go too fast, of course, please stop. If you kind of get the gist of this and you want to fast forward to when I mirror, feel welcome to. The beauty of YouTube, so you don't have to always listen to me. You also can right click and just press enter, which is what I said that you always don't have to use the keyboard. One thing too is you'll notice is another way to get back in a command, if I've not explained this already, is if you just press the enter button instead of right click or spacebar, it reactivates your last command. Quick way to keep working if you're like me and you're a tad on the lazy side or efficient, all depends on which way you want to look at that word. I press enter and I'm done. And if you don't want to keep on pressing right click or type in spline and it's your previous command, you press enter and spacebar and you can go ahead and go to your next one, which is always good. Okay, now to switch this up, I'm just going to use a line. You don't have to. If you want to keep using spline, you can, but I'm just going to do this just for the sake of just doing a line because I want sharp, pointy ears. Okay? The last thing I'm going to do on this one is I'm just going to draw a line straight up from here. Now this is where using something like a polar would probably work, which polar, like I said, is right here because it will draw the line straight up and it will lock it in. Otherwise, it may be at a little bit of a weird angle. So I'm going to turn polar on just for now and just draw a basic line straight up here. The reason why I did that too is because I want to draw this line to this line in order to keep things straight. Okay. So now I have it done. Okay. Let me show you trim real quick. If you have to remove a line that you don't want to see, you press TR and you press enter twice. I can get rid of this line. I can't get rid of this because I don't have anything to like separate it. So if I were to draw just a line right here, TR, you press enter twice, you click the top of this and it goes away. I can click this, but I can't click this because there's nothing to separate it. So I just highlight those two things, delete, and delete. Okay, good. All right. Okay, I've noticed the picture is kind of drive me nuts a little bit. So let's say you have it all done, you have this part done, and you want to hide the picture. Here's how you do this. You can click the corner, right click, and there is a isolate button. I want to hide the object, and look at that, it vanishes. Okay, I don't really need this line back because I have it lined up, but if you want to bring it back, you're welcome to redraw it. L enter is line, pretty simple. And so you're good to go there. Okay, so here's your next step. We're going to mirror this over because I don't feel like making this thing again. Okay, mirror is a very simple command. It's a very common one. So we shouldn't have too many issues with this. So the quick command is MI, and as you see here, whenever you type in a command, it will give you some other suggestion, sorry if you hear something in the background, I'm watching the presidential debate, which is a train wreck already. And also mirrors up here. I don't care how you get there. I will show you all the ways. You can decide how to get there. So I'm going to type in MI. Sorry, I keep going back and forth, but I figure this is easier. Let me show you one more thing too. The left selection and right selection. Left click, do not hold, because if you hold, you'll get these weird lines like this, which are a polygon selection cycle. If I go right to left, I have to encompass all the lines. And you'll slowly see here how some are getting a little bit highlighted. These are the ones I've chosen. But right to left, I have to go over everything. If I go left to right, you get a green box, it's all dotted. Anything I touch, it selects. So I think you'll see here what the differences are. If I showed this already, speed past this, I just want to make this clear. Okay, so I'm going to type mirror again. I'm sorry I got off track on that one, but I figured this was important. Click, hold over this. I press enter. Now you have to have a mirror line. You don't necessarily have the line, you just have to have a base point to go off of. I click the top of this. It'll bring it over like so. I bring it down. All I have to do is click at a 90 angle or straight down, and it should work for you. So I click here. It's going to ask erase source. No, I want to keep it. So there we go. Then I'm going to erase both these objects right here, because I don't want these things anymore, because there's two of them, and now we have Batman. Yay! Okay, we're not done yet, because we have to make this into a whole object, because we have to extrude it to make it 3D. Otherwise, the computer doesn't know what it's doing. All right, so here we go. There's a few different ways that you can do this. I like using the boundary command. What that does is it turns the entire object into a polyline, like your splines, but it makes everything into one entire complete object. So, quick command is BO. Yep, like body odor. Click your points. It says polyline. That's what you want. Click in the middle of your object. Left clicked it. I press enter. That's okay with me. And give it a moment, because it does have to calculate on my edges. And now it's done. Now, if you want to hover over it, you'll see how it's one whole object. Okay? So now it's one entire object. Okay? Here's the last step on making this one 3D. Press Shift, press Scroll, and then you zoom up like this. Also, if you feel a bit more comfortable, you can grab the world coordinate system, and you can grab this thing too just by left clicking. You can move it around there, and no pivot around. I'm a Shift Scroll type of dude, so there you go. All right, so I want to make this, let's say, a 1/4 inch thick. I don't know how much I'm going to make your guys's. Have not decided yet, but let's go 1/4 inch for right now. So what I'm going to do next on this, I'm going to do something a little bit fancier, is the very bottom of your screen, you see this gear here. I'm going to change this to 3D modeling. This is the only time I ever do this, because frankly, I'm not a big fan of AutoCAD in 3D, but for this assignment, I will do it. As you see here, your entire screen changed. There's an extrude button. You can either type in extrude, which is EXT. Don't care. Click it. Press enter. It'll go up like this. I'm going to type 0.25, and I got that done. Now what I'm also going to do here is I'm going to go 2D wireframe. I'm going to change this to realistic so I can see it a little bit better. Okay? So now it's almost done. I'm going to right click. I'm going to press Control 1 and bring back my properties menu real quick, because I got to see one more thing. Because I want a base on this sucker also. So actually, for right now, I'm going to stop this video because I got a minute left. I do want to show you guys one more thing, which is the materials. If you type in the command materials, sorry that I'm running out of time here. materials. No short command, you have to type it all in. And this thing will pop up over here. If you want to find a color, you can go ahead and drop it over. Say I want to do yellow, you can type black, whatever you want to do. But just go ahead and just color it in, and we'll get this part done. Whoa. Okay, that was weird. Don't know what happened there, but you can drag these over onto there to whatever it is you want to. Okay, I'm out of time on this video. The next one, I will show you how to do a background, and we'll export it. Bye-bye.